Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Or good evening, I guess, if you're not in my time zone. Welcome. Welcome. Just putting together the last bits so that we'll make sure this is recorded for you guys for later, too. Everything's in place. Hello. Where are you guys joining me from? You want to just type in where you are? This thing's so weird. It always looks like there's no one here, and then I look at it later and there were a bunch of you. So I'm not really sure how many of you are here. Belgium, yay. Hey, it's nice to see you. Mercer Island, yay. Welcome, all of you who are joining me from Yoga Bliss as well. My local studio here in the Seattle area, Florida, Mexico City. Welcome. Today's class, my husband and I had such a wonderful weekend. We actually went away in a little RV camping, or I guess it was a camper van. And it was so nice to get away. So I hope you guys are finding time to, at this kind of end of summer period, to recharge and get away. I know for me, it was like, oh gosh, I need this more. But it also made me start to think about how habituated our lives are and how much we're conditioned. And I don't know if if any of you have read my second book. I talk a lot about this in my meditation book, Meditate Your Weight, which is really it's really not about weight at all. It's about actually finding peace and happiness in your body and cultivating a healthy lifestyle. But really what we're looking at are these conditioned patterns. And it was something I used to see a lot when I saw patients more full time, was this tendency just to be stuck in these patterns. And sometimes it's our own self-limiting ideas that get in our own way the most. And so that's what I want to just play with today, and hopefully spark a little bit of investigation for you on your mat, whether you feel like you need a shift, whether you just want to kind of clear the slate for your day or your evening, or whether you want to explore something really specific or general. So I hope you can try it on for size and take what you need and find something helpful in there. So grab a large bath towel. And other than that, if you have 2 blocks, you can grab them. We'll use them briefly, but you don't have to have them. Other than that, you don't really need anything. So go ahead and grab a large towel and we'll get started. And we're going to start with a really brief meditation, and then we will hop right into some movement and then spend a little bit more time than I normally do on the floor. So you'll get a nice, really well-rounded practice rather than focusing on any one specific area. But I think you'll get a nice balance of all. All right. As always, this class sometimes runs a little over, so just keep an eye on the clock if you need to duck out. You can always come back and watch the rest of the recording later. We're going to end with a nice shavasana at the end, so you can always take that at the end of your day. Oh, and then you'll probably want something to sit on just for the first few minutes. Welcome to Yoga Medicine Online. I'm Tiffany Cruikshank, and this is a practice to help breathe some change into the body, whether you're in a place where you need a shift, whether you're having something very specific that you want to focus on changing in your life, or if you just want to clear the slate for your day or your evening ahead and kind of hit the reset button. Lots of breath focus. We'll start with that brief meditation, then we'll get right into some movement, and we'll spend a little bit more time on the floor. So only prop you need is a large bath towel. If you have 2 blocks, grab them as well. And then I just have something comfortable to sit on here to begin with. Again, this will be a brief meditation and kind of nice. I think we usually do our meditation at the end of our practice. A little change of pace today. So find a comfortable seat, however you like, and just start to soften the eyes. And let your attention just wander through this inner experience for a moment. Whatever you notice there in the body. Notice the fabric of the physical nature of the body. That beat of life within it. And just feeling into this internal awareness, this internal experience. And for this exercise to begin with, I want you just to not overthink it. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I'd like you just to allow whatever comes up to come up rather than trying to overthink this. I want you just to start by considering your deepest heartfelt desire in this day, in this life, whatever that might be. That might be a very specific purpose, mission, that might be a quality or a feeling. And just sensing into your deepest heartfelt desire for today, knowing that will probably change through your life, maybe even through your week. And then just take another moment there to consider what about this is important to you. Digging a little deeper into the heart of the essence of what is important to you within that. And again, that can be very general or very specific. I find often just leaning into what comes up first can be best, these quick, brief moments to listen. And then switching gears, I want you to bring to mind a picture or a feeling of your best self. That could be in regards to qualities in the body or characteristics, character. That might even be an ailment-free picture of yourself. Disentangling some of those identifications and seeing through to your core, your best self. And again, let that be vague. That might be a picture that comes to mind. That might be a feeling. That might be picturing yourself in a very certain position or circumstance or scenario. And then see if you can merge those two together, your heartfelt desire, your purpose, and your best self. And just taking a moment to visualize the two merging together. Unbound by expectations, physical conditions. Where do the two converge? Your heartfelt purpose and this best self. And picturing that self, just tuning into that picture, feeling into it. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Making it as vivid as possible for another minute or two there. And as you picture that, notice the qualities it awakens in your body now in this moment. And see if you can land that visual into your skin. Feel into the edges and the corners of that new awareness. For a few more moments. And feel that start to instigate a little deeper breath. And notice how the breath changes as it arises out of an awareness of abundance rather than an awareness of need. Feeling that breath arising and falling in this new awareness in the body. Maybe just slightly different than when you began, maybe very different. And allow yourself just to deepen the breath and linger on the inhale and exhale. And just sense this guiding of the breath without struggle. See if you can imagine the same awareness of the breath moving through your practice. This easeful depth. Moving with this awareness in the body. And keep that awareness in your breath and just start to open your eyes a little bit. Take in the surroundings, but keep that internal awareness. And then let's come right up to Uttanasana. So come to the front of your mat and you can move that out from underneath you there. And come into Uttanasana. And just take a few moments to arrive there. There's no rush. feeling into the breath and the body. And again, noticing this peripheral awareness as you start to move and feel into different parts of the body, as different maybe circumstances or awareness, but around that same core of who you are. On your inhale, look up halfway. And on your exhale, soften. Press through the feet, come all the way up to stand. And we're going to come right into some pranayama. And now I'm going to give you a movement to do here. If you prefer, you can just do the breath as well. We're going to do some Kapalabhati breathing. I'm going to turn and face you. You can stay there. I'm going to step my feet together and I'm going to interlace my fingers, everything except for my index and thumb here. So my arms are just going to go straight up. And in a moment, just pay attention just for a moment here, my ribs are going to knit back and just watch me. It's going to go side to side. Now, what I want to think about is this center of my body propelling that movement here. And I'm thinking about this kind of sparking a shift at the beginning of our practice here. So take your arms up, press down through the feet, knit your front ribs back, take a deep inhale there. Keep going. And again, you could just be doing the breath, but think about this kind of starting to stir up the circulation and warmth in the body, sparking a little bit of shift here at the beginning. And then find a speed you like if you want to go a little faster or a little slower. You can imagine the balance will be a little easier too if you step your feet a little wider. Sparking this core awareness here, belly in the center of the body. As you continue, you've got a few more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come upright, cactus the arms, lift your chest. Pause at the top of the breath there. And as you exhale, release the arms, step your feet hip width apart, and just start to fold forward there. Take an inhale, look up halfway. And as you exhale, plant your hands and go ahead and step your right foot back. Lower your right knee to the floor. Now, if you have a block, grab it. Otherwise, don't worry about it here. You're going to come on up to low lunge here. Sink down through the hips. Your left hand is either going to go on the thigh or the block on its highest height, off to the left side here. And then inhale, reach through that right arm and just take a couple of breaths. Using the breath to work into the nooks and the crannies and just feel in. It's almost more like the breath is there to help you feel into it rather than maybe even try and change things, though we know that oftentimes that comes as well. On your inhale, come on up. I'm just going to pass my block underneath. And then I'm going to place the block on the right side and reach the left arm over to the right there. Now tuck your back toes under, your right toes under. And if you don't have the block, your right hand will be on the floor. You can also be on your fingertips, your knuckles there. And then on your inhale, bend that left arm back like a cactus. Open the chest. And on your exhale, you're going to pick your back knee up. Reach your left arm back towards your right foot. Lower the knee down. We're moving with the breath. Inhale, open the chest. Take your time. Exhale, lift the knee and reach back. It doesn't need to be any more specific than that. Lower the knee. Inhale, open the chest. Take your time. Exhale, reach. Take another round there. The next time you inhale, open the chest there. And then exhale, just take the hands to the floor. Step that leg back, lower down to your belly. Take your arms out to the sides like a cactus. Place your forehead on the ground. Press your pubic bone and your feet down into the floor. And then start to lift your elbows and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Really squeeze them back. And then start to lift the hands as well. Squeeze the shoulder blades back and then lift the head and the feet there. Really trying to think about hugging the shoulder blades back behind you. Take a deep breath. And on your exhale, lower down, hands under the shoulders. Cobra pose. Inhale, curl the chest up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward this time. Lower your left knee to the ground. And then come on up. And then for this one, go ahead and either put your right hand on your thigh or your right hand on the block off to the right and reach through that left arm. And your inhale, come on up. You can pass the block under your leg there if you like, or take the left hand to the floor. Inhale, reach through that right arm. And then bend the elbow like a cactus, open through the chest. Tuck your back toes under there. On your exhale, lift the back knee, reach back toward that back foot. Gently lower the knee. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale to lift and reach. And inhale to open. Exhale. Inhale. Take one more there. And on your next exhale, walk the hands back to the front of your mat. Go ahead and step it back, lower down to your belly, arms like a cactus. Place the forehead down, press the forehead down, press the feet down. Engage that lowest part of the belly. Elbows up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, then hands up, then head and legs up, hugging the shoulder blades back. Take another deep breath there. Exhale, lower down, hands under the shoulders. Cobra pose. Inhale, curl your chest up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath there. And then just start to walk the feet forward. Inhale, look up halfway. And exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Stretch through the arms. Exhale, release the arms down to your sides. Again, just take a moment to check in. And just notice what's shifting just as you bring your attention to the breath. Without any more specificity than that, we're kind of tuning in, honing. On your inhale, go ahead and take your arms up overhead. And you can interlace the fingers there again if you like. You're just going to exhale, bend over to the side. Inhale, come up. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, come up, cactus the arms, lift through the chest. Exhale, soften the knees and fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale to soften. Go ahead and step your left foot back. Lower the knee. This time just sink the hips. Inhale, lift through the chest. Cactus the arms. Exhale, plant the hands. Lower all the way down to your belly. Shalabhasana. Inhale, come right up with those cactus arms. Exhale, lower down, hands under the shoulders. Cobra pose. Inhale. Now we're facing dog. Exhale. Step the left foot forward this time. Lower the right knee down. Inhale, come on up, cactus the arms. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, lower it down. And Shalabhasana with cactus arms, inhale. Exhale, hands under the shoulders, lower down. Cobra pose, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Take a deep breath there. On your inhale, lift your heels, look forward. Exhale, just step to the top of your mat. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And again, exhale, release the arms by your sides and just briefly for a moment, tune back into that visual. Really specifically, that place where the purpose and your true self meet. Shedding anything you don't need to embody that. Again, maybe that's just ailment-free, maybe that's characteristics or qualities, maybe that's personality, maybe even just the ability to embrace silence and linger in that state of being. Or maybe it's something very specific. Maybe it's a quality that you need for your day ahead. On your inhale, stretch your arms up. On your exhale, folding forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back. And this time, if you'd like a traditional vinyasa, you can. Maybe that's cobra, maybe that's upward facing dog. You can always skip those and just step right back to down dog, of course. Take an inhale, lift your right leg up. And on your exhale, step your foot forward, line up heel to arch. And on your inhale, come right on up to reverse warrior. Exhale, stay there and get light on that left hand. Feel that support from the center of your body. And then on your next exhale, start to lean forward, reach with your right hand. We're going to come up into a higher version of half moon. So don't bring your hand anywhere near the floor. Keep your torso up higher. Float your back leg. Rotate your ribcage toward the long edge of your mat. And we're going to flow between those two poses, lingering on the breath here. So start to bend your right knee. Big, slow step back. Inhale to reverse your warrior. On your exhale, coming forward into half moon, feel that strength and support on the sides of the body. Inhale to reverse warrior. Lingering in the breath. Exhale, just find a balance here. It doesn't need to be half moon per se. Keep moving with your breath. Feel that spark of integrity and support lining the sides of the body there. And that power beneath it of the breath. Last one. Next time you come back to reverse warrior, you're going to windmill your hands down. You can take a vinyasa or head right to down dog, your choice. Take a breath there. And then on your inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot forward, heel to arch. Come on up, right into reverse warrior. And again, take a couple breaths here this first round. Get lighter on your back hand. Feel that support coming from the center of the body. On your next exhale, start to reach forward and just walk that back foot in a little bit. Again, we're not really coming anywhere near half moon, but we're kind of edging toward it there a little bit. Feel that support in the side of the body. Staying again for another breath here. Rotate the torso toward the side of your mat. And then just start to bend that left knee. Take a big step back gently there. And we're moving with the breath. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale, finding a balance. You could use your wall in half moon-ish. And find your own pace. You could also add an extra breath there. It's not mandatory that it's one breath each count. Just finding that awareness to spark this integrity and stability along the sides of the body right away in our practice, along with that power, but also ease of the breath. The beautiful combination of the two. Last round. Next time you reverse your warrior, cartwheel the hands down. And again, you can take a vinyasa or head back to down dog. And if you're comfortable in down dog, stay here for a couple breaths. If you prefer child's pose as an option, sometimes I really love downward facing dog as a nice inversion here, especially at the beginning of the practice, letting the head drop. A nice, gentle, but also supported inversion here with the head below the heart. And just trying to lean into the breath as we stay just for a few more rounds of breath here. On your inhale, lift your heels up, look forward, and on your exhale, step to the top of your mat there. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up, maybe stretching the arms up overhead. Exhale, release the hands by your sides. And again, just take a moment to tune back in to that visual. Opening up the eyes again. Inhale, stretch your arms up. And then on your exhale, shift your weight to your right foot. Set your left ankle on your right knee, standing pigeon. Go ahead and sit back into it. Just take a couple breaths here so you feel both the support and mobility within this pose. On your inhale, come on up. Take your knee into your chest. Stand up nice and tall. Press to that right foot. And on your exhale, just sweep that left leg back for Nigasana, warrior three. And take a moment just to pause and tune in. Allowing yourself to kind of be in process as we navigate through this cycle of poses. Stopping briefly sometimes along the way. Just start to bend your right knee. Take a big step back with that left foot. So the torso is still forward, but you're in crescent lunge. And then on your inhale, come on up, swing your heel to the ground, warrior B. Feel that steadiness in the legs. Inhale, straighten the legs here. Reach the arms up overhead. On your exhale, triangle pose, spread the arms nice and wide there. Again, just stay for a couple of breaths, ground down through the feet, lengthen through the spine. On your next inhale, reach that left arm forward. Keep lengthening and reaching through that left arm as you exhale, bend your right knee, extended side angle. Take another inhale there. And on your exhale, low lunge, hands to the floor. You can lower your back knee or keep it up, your choice. Inhale, reach your right arm up, coming into a twist there. Again, feeling into the breath. The breath is such a vital component of our practice. It's really what gives us the capacity to shift and change both the nervous system and the neurological underpinnings of our motivations and our actions and movements. So many other things. Bring that right hand down and then decide how you want to get back to down dog, your choice. Maybe that Shalabhasana variation we had before. On your inhale, lift your heels. And on your exhale, go ahead and step it forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, lower the hands, tune into that visual. Noticing your highest, truest self, best self. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, shift to that left foot. Take your right ankle to your left knee. And again, take a moment there. Ground down through your left foot. Come on up, take your right knee into your chest. Inhale there. And then exhale, start to sweep that leg back for Warrior C or Digasana. Finding the steadiness. Start to bend your left knee. Keep your torso forward. Just take a big step back there. And then come on up, Warrior B. Feel the steadiness of your stance again with both feet on the floor. Inhale, straighten the legs, arms up. Exhale, triangle pose. Spread the arms nice and wide. And again, take a couple breaths there, but really feel yourself plug down into your feet, creating that integrity through the spine, and through your awareness and your breath. Inhale, reach that right arm forward. Exhale, bend the left knee, extended side angle. Steady in the breath. On your exhale, plant the hands down. Again, back knee can be up or down. Revolve, low lunge. Take your left arm up. Again, just keep coming back to that awareness of kind of shedding any beliefs, any restrictions that hold you back from embodying that best self, that purpose, uniting with the best self in process. And plant your hands however you want to get to downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, step to the top. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Shift your weight to your right foot. Exhale, standing pigeon. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, Virasana. Keep the torso forward, bend the knee, take a big step back, inhale. Exhale, land the heel, warrior B. Inhale, straighten the arms and legs. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, reach through that left arm. Exhale, bend the right knee. Inhale, hands to the floor, low lunge. Exhale, twisting to your right. Inhale, hands back down. Vinyasa or down dog. Lift your heels, inhale. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, come all the way up, reach your arms up. Exhale, lean onto that left foot, standing pigeon. Inhale, knee to chest, stand tall. Exhale, Virasana, warrior C. Keep the chest forward, big step back, inhale. Warrior B, exhale. Inhale, straighten, reach the arms up. Exhale, triangle pose, embodying the shapes. Inhale, reach through that right arm. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, hands down. Exhale to twist. Inhale, hands down. Step it back. Vinyasa or down dog. Great, and then go ahead and step your feet around your hands for Malasana. And if you like sitting on a block, you can put a block underneath your pelvis there. And then lifting the chest here. Coming back to a little bit more focused pranayama work, our Kapalabhati again, and really thinking about this kind of more focused exhalation, this more forceful exhalation as shedding and letting go of whatever limitations you might feel, any self-limiting beliefs. Take a deep inhale to start. Keep going. We tend to forget how powerful the mind is, and really it doesn't need a lot of guidance, but it needs continual guidance in order to change. These neural adaptations are hardwired to the things that we do most often. And so the more you tell yourself that you can't do something, the more you expect yourself to respond a certain way, the more you visualize certain outcomes, whether that's conscious or not, the more they become a part of your being. So seeing if you can just let some of that go, clearing the slate. Maybe there's one self-limiting belief in particular. You've got just a few more, about 10 to 20 more rounds there. If there's one particular restriction you can think of. Last 3, 2, 1. Exhale the breath out. Take a deep breath in there and just pause briefly at the top. Lift your chest, broaden your collarbones. And then exhale, let it go. Let your breath be natural as we stay here just for a few more moments. And let yourself now bathe in that awareness of this true self. Yourself, without the expectations of those around you, without your own expectations, without the limitations within us or around us. What does this true self, this purposeful true self look like? What does it feel like? How does it move and sense differently? Slowly release your hands and come into Uttanasana. Just turn your feet forward. You can remove that block there. We're going to come into a couple of breath-focused practices, and then we'll be on the floor. On your inhale, just come up to stand there. So for this one, we're going to be going between reverse warrior and triangle. And this one will be a little bit more vigorous. I want you to really feel that side body support. You're going to have the interlaced fingers here so that your index and thumb are free of that interlacing. And the arms will be nice and straight throughout so that I can find that. And then the counting here will be 4 counts to inhale into reverse warrior and 4 counts to exhale. Now, as we go, feel free to pick up the speed or slow it down to adapt to your needs for today. But take a moment just to feel your feet grounding into the earth. I've got my right foot forward here. And then start to bend your right knee. Take your arms up overhead, interlace everything but index and thumb. Exhale your breath out there. And then inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1 as you bend back. Exhaling into triangle for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reverse, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep moving, keep counting on your own there, and decide if you want to count a little bit faster or a little bit slower. Both, I think, have important uses. I would go with what feels best to you today. Don't overthink it. Keep going. If you want a little bit more heat, maybe even shaking a little bit more loose, things you need to let go of, maybe moving a little faster. If you need a little more nourishment, maybe slowing down. Four in, 4 out. Your counting might speed up, but the ratio is still there. Feel that support and integrity through the side body. Last one. And then go ahead and come up and step to the top of your mat. Take a moment to notice. And then step your right foot back. I'm going to turn and face you. So you've got your left foot forward now. And go ahead and bend your left knee. Take your arms up overhead, interlace. Exhale there. Inhale, slow to begin. Reverse your warrior. Triangle, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reverse 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, triangle, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep moving at your own pace. So you've still got the counting, but you can go a little faster or slower like a metronome. Feel though that support from the sides of your body. So you'll want to try and kind of knit your front ribs back a little bit to tune into that side body support. And again, faster if you want a little bit more heat. Maybe you have some things to let go of and shake off, or slower if you want to linger in that nourishment of the breath, or whatever feels better is fine too. Staying in the feeling. Feeling that integrity and support through the side body as well as the legs. And you should feel some in the arms as well. Last one. Come on up. And then step back to the top of your mat there. We're We'll do one more breath focused practice. This one is really about capturing the nourishment of the breath. And so we're going to take a 6 count inhalation, a 3 count pause at the top, and then a 6 count exhale. And as you're pausing, I want you to really think about soaking in that visualization of that self that we've been looking at and really feeling it and embodying it there as you pause in the breath. Okay, so go ahead and step your left foot back. I'll show you the movement here. Warrior A will be our stance for the legs. And then go ahead and straighten your front knee. You're gonna inhale, just watch me, bend the knee, open the arms like a cactus, lift through the chest, and then you'll hold the breath in for 3, and then 6 counts to come back out. Take the arms down, straighten the leg. So I'm just trying to last the whole length of the counting to come into it in each direction. And again, that retention to help me kind of steep in that visualization that we've been creating. All right, exhale your breath out. Bend the knee, inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, expand for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step to the top of your mat. Take a breath. And then step the right leg back right into the second side. Set up for warrior A and then straighten the knee. Exhale your breath out. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the top of your mat there. Sensing your capacity to move, to breathe, to articulate, to connect with, to support, to be supported by, to create, to cultivate, to refine, to enhance. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, look up halfway. And then exhale, just step it back to down dog there. And take a moment there to let the head drop below the heart. As if you were kind of allowing the head to bow to the heart, to the intelligence of the heart. And then look between your hands, step your right foot forward, and we're going to set up for a revolved triangle. So if you have a block, go ahead and grab your block. And don't worry about how far you come into this. This is a challenging pose, so not so much about perfecting the pose as much as feeling into those corners and edges and spaces. So I've got my block on its highest level. Since we haven't done a lot of hamstring prep, you can have it on the middle level if you want, or you could just be on your knuckles or on top of the ankle there. So place that left hand down, turn your left foot out, and then just take an inhale, lift up and out of the spine here as you pull your right hip back with your right thumb. So you're trying to get as long as you can, center of the torso there. And then start to roll your right shoulder and shoulder blade back toward the spine. Squeeze it back, push into your block. I'm going to take mine down a level there. And then rotate from the chest, keeping the feet grounded in the floor. You can take your right arm up. If you'd like to look up, you can, or keep your gaze at the floor. And then just see if you can breathe some life into it. Oftentimes in these more challenging postures in our practice in our life, we tend to kind of wait for it to be over. Can you breathe into it? It doesn't necessarily mean that the pose all of a sudden becomes easy. But can you find that space to be? On your exhale, go ahead and release the hands down. Move your block. I'm going to wiggle my left foot back a little bit, and then I'm going to take my right foot off the left side of my mat and ground my left heel onto the floor. And then I'm going to start to reach my right foot forward. So it's almost like a mixture between triangle and maybe splits here. We're not going to splits. Go ahead and reach back through your left foot and forward through your left hand. I call this diagonal triangle. So it's kind of on its side a little bit. Just breathe into those nooks and crannies. Take another breath. We're going to be on our butt in a moment here. So just slowly maybe letting that right foot inch out so that your butt can get a little closer to the floor. And we're right in a Upavishta Konasana position here. And then just start to walk the hands out. Take a few breaths. Landing in the experience in your body, whatever you find there, welcoming the sensations, the awareness. And start to walk your hands back in. You're going to bring your hands back to the top of your mat. We're coming into fallen triangle. So I'm going to lift my hips up, and I might scoot that right foot back a little bit here. And then you can either, one, stay here, or two, come into kind of a revolved chaturanga. Come right back up. Sweep that right leg up and over into either three-legged dog, or if you'd like to, you can land that foot for wild thing. And then go ahead and come on down to a seat here. We're facing the back of the mat, so you can just sit on down. Rajasana variation here. I'm going to grab a hold of my right knee and go ahead and twist to the right. Option with the arms to hook the elbow, or just hold on to the knee. Again, just working through the nooks and crannies without having to understand it or even move through it. Just seeing if you can welcome what you find. And breathe a little space into the body. Now for this one, all you're going to do is release that left arm. You're going to roll over to your right to come to tabletop. And then take your left arm under your right for thread the needle. Working all the way through the hips and the back and the shoulders here. As we work our way around the body. Sensing the awareness of this new capacity to inhabit your body in maybe a new way or a slightly different way. Steer and guide the changes to your awareness. And then go ahead and lay out your hands, come right back up into downward facing dog. And come right into the second side step. Your left foot forward, turn your right foot out, setting up a revolved triangle. Again, nothing fancy or deep, but go ahead and set up your block on its highest or its middle height. And if not, put your hand on knuckles, fingers, or ankle. And then take a moment here to lift your torso up. Lengthen through your spine and pull your left outer hip back with your left hand. Your left thumb in particular there. Get nice and long through the torso. And then from there, just start to draw your left shoulder and shoulder blade back toward the spine, squeezing, hugging into the spine there. And then start to rotate as you push into your block, rotating the chest. And then you can reach the hand up if you like, and you can either look up or look down at the floor. And see if you can just breathe some space into it. And your exhale, just release, remove your block. And then hands on the floor, wiggle your left foot off the right side of your mat. Spin your right heel onto the floor. And then start to reach forward with that right hand. So we're in this diagonal triangle position here. We'll go that left foot forward there into a comfortable position. Anchor back through that right foot to reach forward through that right hand. Take another breath. Remember, we're going to land on the floor, so you can wiggle a little closer to the ground there as you creep that left foot out, and then have a seat. Feet are wide. Just walk the hands out for a few breaths here. And welcoming sensations, inhabiting this new context of the body, of the mind. You have the capacity to do so much in your life. Each one of us has the capacity to do and be and create. So many times our biggest restrictions are in how we see ourselves and how we see the world. Well, obviously there's a lot more to the equation, but just sensing that capacity to envision and step into your best self, whether that be shifting mindset, instilling patience, cultivating joy, gratitude, or something else, maybe more specific. And come on up. And then walk your hands back to the top of your mat. You might want to wiggle that left foot back. You're going to come into this kind of revolved plank. And again, you can stay here or make room. I've got a wall in the way here. Chaturanga. Come on up and then sweep that left leg up and over. And then maybe start to land that left foot behind you for Wild Thing. Take a deep breath. However you'd like to get there, have a seat. For Vinyasa, we've got the left knee bent this time, and we're gonna grab a hold of that knee and twist over to the left. Sitting up nice and tall. Sensing how you might see the world a little differently through the lens of this maybe slightly different perspective. So that your neurologic wiring can start to reframe and shift around these things that we cultivate on a regular basis. Okay, then just slowly release your clasp. You're going to roll over to the left, come right into tabletop, thread your right hand under your left for thread the needle. Landing in that space of the breath. Go ahead and plant the hands and come on up. And our last pose is going to be a back bend to take us into Shavasana. And so if you have those two blocks and you'd like to, we're going to come into supported fish. And if not, you're going to grab this towel here and roll it up and just create a little roll. You don't need a lot here. I'm just going to roll this up and I'm going to place it right behind this kind of mid-back area. Okay, or you might just go with the one that feels better too. So for this one, we're going to take the lower block on its middle height, and the higher one behind my head is going to be on its low height here. So I've got middle height. This one's going across my back. So I'm going to gently lie back, place that right across the mid-back or kind of bra strap area for women. And then I'm going to place the block under my head. Now, if this is uncomfortable for your neck, feel free. You could bring this all the way up to its highest height, which gives a much more relaxed position for the neck. However, if you're happy with it, we're going to do it on its lowest height here and thinking about a little bit of extension through both the upper, the lower, and the mid back here. So just want to find a comfortable position for those where the arms can drape off of the sides here. And it's not the top of my head on the block or exactly the back of my head on the block, but it's almost like the back corner. If my skull was a square, the back corner of the scalp. So then I have a nice gentle arch, comfortable arch, of course, in the cervical spine. Let the shoulders drip off of the sides. And if you'd like, you can walk the legs a little wider. But just let the legs rest on the floor. And then I just want you to start to deepen your breath here. We're going to do a little bit of pranayama to prepare for our final relaxation. Taking a deep inhale there. And then pausing at the top of the breath. Then take another sip in through the nose. A little sniff. And then exhaling slowly through the mouth or the nose, your choice. Again, deep inhale through the nose. Pause at the top. Take another sniff of breath in. And then exhale, slowly let it go. Deep breath in. Pause. Take another sniff of air. Exhale, let it go. Two more. Deep breath in. Pause. One more sniff. Exhale, let it go. One more time. Deep breath in. Pause. One more sniff. Fill all the way up. Exhale, let it go. And then let your breath be natural again. Feel the head land on your block. The sides of your neck soften. All the way down through the sides of the heart. Expanding, opening, softening. And just sensing that this best self isn't necessarily about doing more or being more. Perhaps it's more about unveiling what's already there, shedding the restrictions, and plugging into this support around us. That support might come in the form of blocks underneath you, family members and friends around you, food, sleep, all of the essentials. But this best self doesn't necessarily mean that you need to add another thing to your to-do list. It simply requires us to remember that we can always put our hands on the steering wheel and shift our awareness in the world, in our body, in our life. Start to place your feet on the floor. And if you're on blocks, carefully roll onto your side elbow. Remove the blocks and lie flat. And grab whatever you'd like for Shavasana. And this last bit will be a little bit of a meditation. So if you prefer to sit upright, you're welcome to sit upright in a meditation position as well. And as you settle in, whether you're seated or on your back, feel those contact points with the earth. Feel your body land on the earth. Sense the natural movement of your breath. Sense this awareness of being. Sense the awareness around your body here, this space around you. Sense the awareness within you in this inner landscape of the body. Sense the innermost part of your body, deepest core of your body. And then sense the outermost border of your body, skin layer. Sense your thoughts coming and going. Notice if there's a sense of time here. Feel the thinking starting to settle. Sense your self-consciousness start to dissolve. Perhaps a spaciousness, unbound, timeless quality here. And then come back to this awareness of your best self, or rather your true self. Embodying that characteristic or awareness, or perhaps letting go of any awareness of ailments or attachments or anything that limits you there. Feeling into that true self. And all that you have to offer to the world, to your community, to your family, to yourself. And then just take a minute or so there, picturing this true self moving through the events of your day ahead, whatever is left of your day, or if it's the evening, maybe tomorrow. Do you move differently? Do you feel differently? Do you allocate your time differently? How might your day look different? How might your day feel different at the end of the day? And just sealing that awareness of your true self into your mind's eye. Sense that this quality of being is familiar to you. This awareness is always with you. Sense that you are complete just as you are. Notice the support around you. Feel your body being held by the earth beneath you. Feel the air on your skin. And the sounds all around you. And bring your attention back to your breath. Gently starting to deepen your breath as you bring yourself back with this awareness instilled in every cell of your body. If you're on your back, take your time coming to a seat. And know that this awareness is something you can come back to just in momentary glimpses of your day. It doesn't have to be a long practice, though. I think a longer practice like this can be really helpful to really magnify that, especially as you're starting to create shifts or anytime you need that reset. just remembering that it is always there. Namaste. Thank you, those of you who joined me live. Yes, Lee, I agree. A good one to get unstuck. There's a lot of ways to say it, right? Like clearing the slate. Sometimes we just need to move out of, I think, especially in COVID, right? We kind of get stuck in these patterns and routines. And, you know, for me, at least, getting out into nature was such a nice way to kind of shift things up a little bit. But I think it's so important to remember that our biology, in many different ways, is orienting towards the things that we do often, whether that's our own beliefs, whether that's the movements we take on our mat. And so I think there's a really important place to question these and look at, you know, also the expectations that we have of ourselves, or the expectations that we sense from the people around us, the people that we love, can be so influential. Thank you guys. You're welcome. You're welcome. Nice to have you guys. And if you have questions, feel free. You can post your questions here. I always hang around for a few minutes. But this one, like I mentioned at the end, just taking that little snippet, I always think of like ingraining it in my third eye area, like this mind's eye area of an awareness that I can come back to just briefly, especially like if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling really limited by your automations and patterns and you know, a lot of our own beliefs too, of what we think of ourselves. And maybe that's just stuck in a rut with your job or other circumstances of your life. But finding a way to kind of shift some of those patterns doesn't necessarily always mean changing our job, but sometimes it just means changing the context through which we see the world around us as well. So just having that little snippet to come back to, and coming back to that a few times a day can be a really great way to make some pretty big changes. And there's some interesting people who do a lot of work in the healthcare world around this too, of how we shift even a lot of the health of the body just based on the way we see things and interpret things in a lot of different modalities too. Neurology, psychology, so many other things that I think we're learning still. So it's very real. I know back in like the 90s, we used to talk about all this a lot, and it seemed very kind of esoteric and out there. And I love that we're learning more, and the science is actually supporting that this is a real thing. I know from my own experience working with patients, people who are trying to get healthy or working with pain, especially, can be a really limiting thing, because we start to identify with our ailments. We start to identify with our pain. We start to identify with this idea of our own capacity and our ability now with yoga to come back and just start to question some of these things, I think, is the spark that triggers a lot of those changes too. It's not having to understand it all or have all the right things in place, but really just being able to question that. So hopefully I've inspired you to dig a little deeper, be curious, and find something that's supportive for you in a practice as well. Well, I don't see any other questions, but I look forward to seeing you guys again. Here's a sneak peek. In September, you can tell your friends, those of you who are in yoga medicine, will have some free lives throughout the month. So as our first anniversary celebration, can't believe it's been a year already. So we're offering a gift to everyone to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. So check it out. You'll find more information on social media and on the Yoga Medicine online site, but you can invite your friends. And I don't know if you've noticed this, those of you on the Yoga Medicine online site, if you click, you can invite a friend and you guys can schedule it in, which I think is really cool. I mean, the lives are really nice if you can make them, but to be able to just feel like you're practicing with someone, I think is so nice. So that's, I don't know how many people know that that's there, but I think it's really cool. It was important to me when we created the site. That community support is so important and valuable on so many levels. So that's there. We've got all sorts of other stuff in the works. We've got some new trainings coming on yoga medicine. We've got a podcast coming soon and all sorts of other things in our celebration anniversary month. So we're always loving your feedback. So please tell me what you want more of. If I turn this off before you have time to comment, you can put it on social media or DM me or email us, however you like. We love hearing your feedback and more of what you guys want. So let us know. Love you guys. Enjoy your day. See you soon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Doug. All right. Goodbye. Enjoy. Ah, yay. Thanks. It's the wild hair. Thank you guys. Enjoy.